In November 1961, a shocking discovery stunned the Caribbean Sea. An 11-year-old girl was found drifting alone on a tiny cork raft, sunburned, dehydrated, and clinging to life. Her name was Jo Duperrault, and she was the only survivor of a massacre that wiped out her entire family. The Duperraults were a respected family from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Arthur, the father, had saved for years for a once-in-a-lifetime holiday, a week of sailing through the Bahamas to escape another brutal winter. He chartered a 60-foot yacht called the Bluebelle, captained by a decorated World War II veteran named Julian Harvey. The trip began like a dream. Sunshine, seashells, island hopping, and quiet family moments they believed would last forever. On their final night, they enjoyed dinner together as the boat set course back to Florida. Afterward, 11-year-old Jo went below deck to sleep. Hours later, she awoke to the chilling sound of her brother's screams. She climbed to the deck and froze. Her mother and brother lay in pools of blood. Standing nearby was Captain Harvey. He shouted at her to get back down below. Terrified, she obeyed. Water began flooding the cabin. Moments later, Harvey appeared again, this time holding a rifle. He looked at Jo in silence, then turned and disappeared into the chaos above. When she climbed back up, the Bluebelle was sinking fast. The mast was broken, the sails shredded, and Harvey was nowhere to be seen. In the moonlight, Jo spotted a small cork raft drifting beside the wreck. With seconds to spare, she scrambled onto it just as the Bluebelle slipped beneath the waves. Now she was alone, an open ocean with no food, no water, and no shade. For 4 brutal days, Jo drifted endlessly. The sun scorched her skin. Night winds chilled her to the bone. Sharks circled beneath the raft. She hallucinated, cried, prayed, and held on to life with every ounce of strength she had. Meanwhile, Julian Harvey had already been arrested. He told authorities a dramatic story. The mast snapped in a freak storm, the yacht sank, and he tried to save everyone but failed. Only Jo's younger sister, Renee, made it onto a dinghy with him, but he claimed she died shortly afterward. Investigators believed him until the impossible happened. On the 4th day, a Greek freighter spotted something small and white floating on the waves. It wasn't debris, it was Jo. Barely alive, but alive. Her survival shattered Harvey's story completely. When investigators confronted him again, darker truths surfaced. Julian Harvey had a suspicious past. 2 previous wives who had died violently under mysterious circumstances, both deaths leading to insurance payouts. Before the Bluebelle voyage, he had taken out a large life insurance policy on his newest wife, naming himself as the sole beneficiary. Investigators concluded that Harvey murdered his wife at sea to collect the insurance money. But when the Duperraults witnessed it, he killed them too. Cornered by the truth, Harvey fled to a cheap Miami motel. There, he wrote a short note, locked the door, and ended his own life. He never confessed, but he didn't need to. Jo's survival was the confession. Jo grew up to rebuild her life, later writing a book titled Alone, Orphaned on the Ocean. She rarely spoke about the ordeal, but when she did, she offered a simple message: never underestimate the power of hope. She survived because she believed her family would want her to live. And she did, against the murderer, against the ocean, and against the impossible.